Alright guys, in this video we're going to be switching this golf cart over to a lithium powered battery. Alright, let's get the seat out of the way. $14mm socket. Take all these cables off. I could probably do start over there on the lead side.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards the prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing.
These are the old charger wires over there. Won't need them, but I'll need this red and white wire. Red and white wire right here. I think this is gonna tie into the battery, or you won't be able to go anywhere. We have to find a strap to come up with a way to put a handle on here, strap to pick these batteries up. I don't know how much they weigh, but they're all there. They weigh probably 40 pounds a piece, probably. Or more. Alright guys, I think I found a solution. I got a trampoline. I think this was for stretching springs on the trampoline, and I just found a piece of chain, put a little hook on it. I think that'll work.
So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I won't get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while
well, them batteries is heavy, guys. Alright, I got a lot in there. A little bit of rust from them lead acid batteries, maybe seeping out over time or whatever. I'm probably just gonna take some wire brush, or some wire brush. Take a wire brush and brush all this out and put some coat it with some rust conversion. Alright guys, I just set that up on a little time lapse. I pushed it outside, that way it wouldn't make that big of a mess in here, but I just knocked all the loose stuff off. That'll be good enough for now. I can always come back later and fix it if I need to. But I'm just going to spray it with some of this Rust-Oleum rust reformer here, and that'll be good enough for me. Alright, I'll run out, but I think that's good enough for now. Guess the next thing's to see if this battery over here will fit. So I went with a DC house. This seemed to have pretty good reviews on Facebook and the internet, and I watched a few videos of people where they swapped them out into their carts, and they seem to like them all right. It's got a metal housing, come with brackets to bolt it down with. It's got a little this is the terminals for the covers for the terminals. A little mounting bracket for the little LCD screen for the battery life, voltage, and yeah, for the monitor your battery, shows your voltage and battery life. And it's I think it's also Bluetooth. I think there's an app you can put on your phone to monitor it also. 38.4 volts for a 36 volt golf cart, because I didn't want to change the controller or anything. 100 amp hour. It should be. It's got a. Says it's got a 10-year lifespan. I don't know how old them other batteries was, but I think my brother-in-law said they was fairly new. Didn't have very many hours on them, but I guess the I guess they just sit too long. I'm not sure, but they're not holding a charge anymore. So maybe this one will outlast them. It also come with the charger here too. That's the charger it come with. I'm going to mount it inside, and you just charger be on board the golf cart. So instead of having a big lead acid or the big heavy duty charger for them lead acid batteries, you just mount this in the cart and just plug an extension cord to it wherever you're at. So that'll be nice to have too. Now let's see if we can get this thing to fit. Find my tape measure. I did a little measuring earlier, and I think it'll drop right in there. Let's see, it's like 10.5 inches. I think the rail's over here. I think I want to set it right back here. So I may have to cut. So there's a rail right here that sticks up that separated the battery trace. I think it's just a little shy. I may have to cut that off. Cut this lip off for the top of that angle. There it goes. I think I decided I'm going to try to cut these welds on each end and just skate this middle bar over. See if I can get it in there that way. Alright, so I took and cut that angle all the way out, and I cut the piece running across here. I think somebody had already rebuilt this one time. Just all the videos I watched, this brace going across here had a deal that bolted down to hold the batteries in, and all the videos I watched that DC house fit in there, they just had to take an angle grinder and cut the deal for the battery hold down, and then it fit in there. So I'm having to do things a little bit different. So after I got that cut out, I didn't really have, these aren't quite the way I had to cut them out with that angle grinder. They're not long enough to go back across there. So I went and picked up just a piece of 1x1 angle. I think this is a 6-foot piece. Probably won't need all of it, but I'm gonna start to have a little extra. So I'm gonna get that and take my grinder up there and get a couple pieces cut to fit across there. I think I'm gonna cut this first one 21 7/8, and then I'm gonna cut a couple to go this way. I think 10 5/8. I'll get them cut out and get them put in there. Alright, get that piece put in right there in the middle, and I'm going to take a couple more pieces and go across here. I think I'll make them 10 5/8, just a little bit wider than the battery. So I'm gonna set them in there like that right there. One on each side. Just like that right there. I need to measure how far apart they need to be and get my welder out and tack them in there. I'll probably have to clean some of this paint up from where I painted it yesterday though. Let me take some measurements and I'll be right. So they need to be 21 inches apart. Alright guys, I got those pieces tacked in there. I guess I'll let it cool down a little bit and drop the battery in there, make sure it's going to fit before I fully weld it in there. Alright guys, I got the battery set down in there. This is what it's going to look like. Fits in there pretty nice. It's going to go around here and mark these holes, that way I can drill them out after I remove the battery. Let me get these marked and I'll pull this battery out and then I'll drill the holes, get it welded fully, then painted, and then I'll put the battery back in. Alright guys, just went around and punched pilot holes in all 4 of them locations. Now I'm going to get the welder out, weld it up, then get it painted, let it dry, and then we can set the battery back down in there. Alright, well I got that paint drying in there. I still got to drill the mounting holes out, but I need to get rid of this charge port right here. I may be able to reuse these wires to, I've got a 36 volt down to 12 volt converter I'm going to mount. Probably mount over here in this area somewhere. I'm gonna mount the lithium charger down here, and I gotta, if it ever comes in, I've got just a little port to replace this where you plug an extension cord in. That way charger will be down here and it'll run up here. Then you can just plug in an extension cord to charge your golf cart. Anyways, I'm going to cut this. I'm going to leave a little bit of wire left. That way in case, I don't know, you never know, I may need to wire it back up or something. Now this wire right here, I believe this is your signal wire. It's got a cutoff switch built in somewhere that when your factory controller's plugged in, it turns the golf cart off. You can't move the golf cart when it's plugged into the charger. But with that lithium battery, it won't have that. I believe you got to tie this red and white wire into your positive on your battery. That way it turns the golf cart back on. If not, you won't be able to go anywhere. So we'll save that wire. Looks like it's got a plug here and then it comes out. We got another one right there, if y'all can see that in the camera. Yeah, maybe. Right here. So we'll go through here and cut all these wire, these zip ties. I can redo some of this wiring. Pull out the ones I don't need. There's that. Alright, I'm just going to get some more zip ties and zip tie this back up. This is the forward and reverse switch. I need to leave it. Take these 4 rivets out and it should come out. Alright, it's out. If that other one ever comes in, I'll put it here. I may have to 3D print an adapter to go from this shape to the, I think that other one's round maybe, or I may end up having to order a different one. But anyways, that's what's going to go there. Grab that charger, lay in there and see what it's going to look like. These back 2 holes line up right there, so it looks like it's going to fit in there pretty good. I just need to drill the front 2 holes out. Yeah, this is going to work out good. The bolts that came with it is a little short because, like, up here it's basically sitting on 3 pieces of angle, so they was a little short. Same in the back, they was too short. So I had these. They're 1.25 inches. They're a little long, but as long as the holes line up, I think we're good on them. So I have to pull this battery out and shift the waller these holes out a little bit. It should go in. Alright, that back hole back there, it was off a little farther than I thought, but I got it. Alright, I'm gonna tighten them up. Alright, got all the bolts tightened up. Now let's get the charger putting in. That way I can charge it up. It's at 36%, I think is what the app said. In case I didn't mention, it's got a on and off switch on the battery right here too, so you can turn the whole battery off and on with the button or the switch right here. So I turned it on. Says it's at 32%, but it's still at like 39 volts. So let me hook the charger up and charge it up. And I'll hook the leads up and maybe take it for a ride here in a minute, see what it does. Let's get the charger. Let's get the charger mounted. Run the leads over, connect the battery, and then make a jumper cable for that over to the output of the battery. Alright, let's grab that charger, put it in here. Got some M6 bolts here. Seem to fit in there pretty good. May need to find some bigger washers for the back. Alright, let's try this. Alright, instead of using these slots here, they're just too big for these bolts I'm using. So there were some two small holes here that lined up perfect. So I'll drill those two lined up so I can drill two on this side. Alright, make sure the battery's off. Let's move over here to this side. I'll make it long and then I'll cut it off later. Need to find a, see if I got an eyelet that'll fit around in. Alright, so right now I should be able to turn this battery on and go forwards, reverse. Oh, turn it on. Now let's see what happens. Hey, let's try turning the key on and see what happens. And hook this back up. Okay, we'll turn the key on and then let's see what happens. Hey, we got forward and we got backwards. Turning the key on usually helps. Alright, let's turn that off for a second. I'm gonna clean these tools out and I'm gonna just, I don't know, I'm gonna take it around the block real quick. And when I tested it with them other batteries in there, got up to 10 miles an hour, and it only made it halfway around the block before it barely made it back to the house. Alright guys, it says max 17, but I don't think that's right. But it did go up to 14 though, which is pretty good. And one thing I noticed is the little hills and stuff like that, it didn't slow down at all going up the hills. So alright guys, my adapter or my pass-through port for my extension cord come in, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it mounted too. I went online and found a file to convert the factory hole pattern into a circle to hold that, to adapt it over. I'm just going to take them rivets and pop rivet it on there. Same rivets I've been using for everything else. Alright, I'm going to pop them rivets and I'll be right back. Alright, that's what it looks like on the front side. And then on the back side you can see them tri-fold rivets, how they fold up. Hold that in there. Alright, I think I'm going to use the same thing on this. Alright, so I'm going to put some rivets in that and we'll be back. Alright, that's in there too. So the way that works is you just take your charger and you plug it into the extension cord. And now when you plug in, you just take a regular extension cord and plug it right in there. And then your charger works. get ready, the battery's charged up, you just take it out and you're good to go.